everyone. I just finished reading the last book in this book. This book is a collection of 7 of C.S. Lewis's most famous books and work. I'm just going to very quickly and briefly rank them from least favorite to least recommended to most favorite, most recommended. I did not read these one right after the other. I took time in between each book and read other books. So some of these I have read maybe a year or so ago. Some of them I've read very recently. First book is The Abolition of Man. Now this is the book that I just finished. And this book is only 4 chapters long, but it took me until the second chapter to kind of figure out like what he was saying. In this book, very briefly, he is critiquing a book that he doesn't name by authors that he doesn't name. And basically, he's giving an argument against what we would call like relativism. That's kind of what I gathered from this. Now, the reason why I put it low on the list is because I wouldn't, it's something that I have to read again, but I do think there's some good stuff there. There was some stuff that stood out to me, but yeah, that's that. The second one is The Problem of Pain. Now this one, it's been a while since I've read this one, but this one is basically about pain, and he's writing from a Christian perspective, so he talks about animal pain, human pain. He talks about the, like Jesus' death on the cross, the pain there. He talks about Christians, how we should deal with pain and the problem of pain, and all that kind of stuff. It's a very good book if you're, if you have questions about that topic. The next one is The Great Divorce, the third one. This one was very different because it's a story and it's following this guy who's on like this bus with all these other passengers, and they're going to, it's not purgatory, but it's like an in-between place between heaven and hell. And basically, when they're there, when they're in this place, it's sort of like, it's not quite heaven, but it's like near heaven. They're visited by these people from heaven, like loved ones or relatives, friends, stuff like that. And most of the book is just overhearing conversations between these passengers and, relatives or friends that they're meeting in this sort of heaven in between place. And it's really interesting because it sort of tackles like the idea of heaven and hell. It tackles human failing, human behavior. Because you see like some of these people, they have issues with pride or arrogance, just things like that, they're not humble. It's a very interesting book. The fourth one is A Grief Observed. Now this one I actually enjoyed, which is very odd because of the subject matter and the context. This was actually written after the death of his wife, C.S. Lewis's wife, and he's really just talking and processing that whole idea of grief. It was very interesting because, he's a Christian and his wife is, he does believe and know that he'll see her and, live with her forever in heaven. But he was talking about how he's mourning her here, the relationship they had here. It's just a very interesting take on that whole topic. And it actually really isn't a book. It's actually a collection of notes that he took just during that time in a notebook. But yeah, very interesting. The fifth book is Miracles. Now, it's been a while since I've read this one, but I do remember enough to give a short little brief description. This one is basically, he's giving an argument for miracles. He's addressing arguments by David Hume, who is arguing against miracles, and he's just presenting arguments for miracles and just discussing the whole topic of miracles. Are they possible? Are they real? All that stuff. So if you're interested in that topic, this is a great book. The sixth book is The Screwtape Letters, and this one was very, very interesting. I definitely would probably read this one again. This one, very odd, kind of very weird to read, but very, very interesting book. This one is written, it's a story, but it's these letters from Screwtape, who is a demon, who is writing letters to his nephew/protege, and then his nephew/protege has been assigned to the newly converted Christian to try to bring him back to Satan, bring him away from God, bring him away from Christianity. So the book's very odd because you kind of have to read it and kind of do the opposite of what they say in the letters. Because it's written from the perspective of a demon, what they call good is what we would call bad, and what they call bad is what we would call good. So when you read it, you have to sort of, do the opposite. So it's kind of odd to, get the hang of, get the feel of reading that way. But it's very interesting about human behavior, temptation, very, very good book. And the seventh book is Mere Christianity, and this one is very popular among Christians and apologists, Christian apologists. they often recommend this book. This one is basically just, about just what the title says, Mere Christianity. So I think if you're a Christian or a non-Christian, or if you're a new Christian, I think this is a great way to get a good idea of what Christianity is, without getting all of the other kind of stuff that kind of can get in the way of really understanding just basic Christianity. It's just really good, and it lays out arguments for Christianity and addresses different things. Just a good book overall on that topic. Honestly, I would recommend all of them. There are just some that I like a lot more and some that I would read more and that I got a lot more out of. I will leave a link in the description below to this book. I think that you could get something out of each and every book, and they're all based on very interesting and deep topics, so I think there's something good in each one of them. So everyone, I hope that this video was helpful and that you enjoyed it. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!